If you're always killing your plants, watch this video. In my first year of gardening, I killed so many plants. So I'm going to share with you how I kill my plants and how you can prevent it. Because being proactive is better than reactive. You also will be watching me plant this year's garden. So let's get started. I really struggled this time with what to plant. And I don't know if it's just in my experience, but lettuce go bad so quickly when I get it from the store. If I grow it fresh, that'd probably be better. Instead of using red paper cups, I'm using this because it's bigger. So with the cucumber, they grew so quickly, they need a big container quickly. So we just went straight with a bigger container. And with this, they say that all you have to do is plant the container. You don't even have to take it out of it. But one thing that was interesting to me, it says it's made from peat, and it's kind of like a cardboard texture. That seemed a little weird. It is thick, but I was like, what happens when you water it? And I also bought one of these, especially since I always start my seeds indoors in an apartment on carpet, instead of having to use my actual hands to grab out all the soil and trying to lay out plastic and stuff to try to keep the mess down. So it comes with 6 of them. While it is true that I could plant 2 seeds per container, the area that they're going to be growing in is the apartment balcony. So I don't have space like that. I can't get this out. It's so much cardboard dust. It's irritating my eye. I don't think you need special soil just to start a seed. But I bought it because it was a smaller bag. I could have went on ahead and invested in a bigger bag, but I didn't know what soil I wanted. I haven't decided on that. Instead, it'll give me more time to think on it, and I'll just use this for the small pot. Not watering. Not watering your plants is probably the most common way of killing your plants. Aside from just not watering them at all and they die, it would be out of sight and out of mind, so I would forget it. Or I would make excuses like it's too hot to get out there and do it. I would even assume that the plants didn't need watering without even checking the soil. It is totally possible for you to have watered your plant yesterday, and when you check the soil today, it's bone dry. So the best prevention for underwatering is to make sure you touch the soil every day, see if it needs water or not, instead of just assuming it's okay. If your plants are somewhere you don't see often, see if you can plant it or place a container somewhere you'll notice it more often. And lastly, set alarms. Have a certain time either in the morning or evening to check if it needs watering, preferably not during the hottest part of the day. Watering our plants is very serious because other than killing it, if your plant doesn't die and it does make it to harvest, the harvest can be nasty because of it. I got 5 cucumbers last year, and I always forgot to water my plant, and it tasted like sanitizer. When I researched it, it said that it meant that the plant went through trauma, either from lack of watering or extreme heat, which we had both. We can't be going through the hard work of buying seeds, soil, and containers, and then when it's time for us to reap the benefits, it's not good because we didn't do the part that actually mattered. That's my pep talk to myself for this year's garden. Southern blight. Southern blight is a fungus. It begins with your plant stunting in growth and then it wilts. My soil got covered in probably hundreds of brown balls. They came so suddenly. It happened to my bell peppers first, and I had garden gloves on and used a stick to touch it. And poof, it just became like a cloud of dust. I put a mask on because I didn't think I should be breathing that in. But putting the fungus dust in the air and not knowing that I should have thrown away my garden gloves, I cross-contaminated it to my cucumbers. Southern blight loves the squash and peppers family. It's caused from poor circulation for the soil and overwatering, so a lot of moisture is hanging around. I container garden, so I believe that I needed drainage holes on the bottom instead of only on the side, so that so much water wouldn't be left over after I would water them. And having 2 cucumbers in the same container fighting for the same resources and both needing space to vine and roots to grow in one container. So I think overcrowding definitely contributed to the poor air circulation. Not repotting soon enough. The first time I used egg cartons to start my seeds. but never again. Especially with cucumbers because they sprout so fast that they outgrow the egg cartons within a week. And then they wilt over and die because there's no more room to grow. So starting with a somewhat larger container so that you only have to repot once, and that's when you put it outside, is the best bet. No nutrition. I didn't use any fertilizer, compost, or anything to bring nutrients to the soil, so the plants were starving. A seed provides nutrients so that you don't have to use fertilizer and compost and things in the beginning stages. To keep growing and to give you the best fruit, they need some nutrients. They need some good stuff in the soil. And I didn't add anything in the soil. Barely added water. Pickle worms. I didn't realize the importance of having flowers in your garden. I just thought they were just to look pretty. But their job is to attract insects and repel pests on top of looking pretty. Having flowers could have helped me get rid of the pickle worms by eating them, especially since I wasn't out there every day spraying the plant and removing them myself. Basically, a pickle worm is like a black caterpillar looking thing. It crawls under your plant leaves and it's eating the plant, it's putting holes in it, and eventually it just breaks it down to where it's struggling to live. Pickleworm does turn into a moth, and that made me very curious. There would be a lot of moths flying around outside the house, and I bet you those were adult pickleworms. And like sometimes we would open the door and one would fly in, we have to kill it. That's probably what it was. But that's many of the ways that I've killed my plants, and you probably killed your plants this way too. So hopefully this helps you prevent it next time. Don't give up, because we can be reformed from our plant murdering ways. While I was labeling all my plants, it took me the longest to realize that I kept putting 2024 on the back of them. So I have them in the saucer. Only 4 of them could fit at a time. After I just watered them, let me show you. What I was worried about did happen. This whole bottom of the 2 that weren't drained, they're soaked. But either way it goes, the hardest step was completed, getting started. And so I'm so excited to see how this garden is going to turn out. I chose to do lettuce as well just because 2 spinach plants probably not going to be enough. I haven't decided what flowers I want to do yet, so that's why I didn't plant the sunflower. And if you're planting anything, let me know. Or if you know some good flowers for the plants I planted, let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely enjoy this one. Bye.